Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews coming at you. Got some little stack, not a lot, I think. What's this? Okay, it's a little bit more than I expected. So let's see. So the warehouse let us all go, so I lost that job. They gave us some money, so I did what I do anytime I have money, and I didn't do anything. I screwed around, had fun. Money run out, went back to work at a call center figure, and I'd done call center before. I can't do call center anymore. So currently I'm waiting for a word on a job driving a truck full of paint. It'd be like in buckets and stuff. It's not like this thing with a hose or something. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I said, you know what? Maybe I should just collect unemployment. Worst they can tell me is no, right? They told me yes. They gave me some money. So, hooray for that. In the meantime, as always, if you're watching this, please subscribe. Please tell your friends to subscribe. Please tell your friends to subscribe. I'm trying to get that 1,000, that ever elusive 1,000 people, so you can monetize your content. So, anyways, let's get on to the comic books. Let's do the big new one. The thing I said to myself, I said, I will never, ever do this. They have brought out a brand new Batman comic book. Batman! And I was so worried that it was going to be like a new shoot-off, otherworldly, blah, blah, blah. Written by Matt Fraction. George Jimenez is our artist. The art, Mr. Jimenez, if you're not familiar, is beautiful. Nope, this just jumps right in. He's Batman. Commissioner Gordon's a beat cop now. He got demoted for something that I'm unaware of because I don't read any of the 75 comic books. Killer Croc is in it. They did an interesting take on Killer Croc. And this is the standard comic. But you could also buy a Blind as a Bat Polybag edition. Ooh, look at that. It's a pain to put this back in here, but I know you, the viewer, wants to see which one I got. It's just like a virgin cover, I guess you'd call it that. It doesn't have anything word-wise on it, I don't think. I don't remember having a word thing. Just the DC logo. It's foil. Woo! It's got the little logo right there. And on the back, it's got it says Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto. It's a pretty good comic cover. I'll struggle with this after the show. There we go. Then we have Silverhawks. Ah! Sing it with me, kids. This is number 7. Writer is Ed Brisson. Artist is George Combatius. Like many of these. This is seriously just the best spin-off comic so far. I mean, I'm not... George's artwork and I don't get along all the time, but it's just the best spin-off. We have new people. Monstar's still there. It's just a hoot. It's up to 7, so they'll probably do trade paperback soon, and you can get that. Godzilla. Nope. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Number 4. Hard place to find, too. And the, hold on. It's always in the back. Brian Buccellato. I wonder if it's Buccellato or Buccellato. No one has what's the word I'm looking for? Corrected me. Christian Duce is the artist. And we have the more interesting idea of all these things: Superman, Supergirl, Flash, all these people. I'm not really sure why they gave Flash a head injury. They decided to fight fire with fire. And you're like, well, what could that possibly mean? Well, if you have a special kaiju formula, you heard me here, folks, you can make Superman the same freaking size as Godzilla. I love it when they jump the shark. It's just so good. And next issue, of course, they're always in 5s, so they can put them into a trade paperback. And we got some new heavy hitters coming in at the end. It's right. It's Rodan and King Ghidorah, and Green Lantern's like, I wonder whose side they're on. They're not on yours. All right, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, number 12. We got an even dozen. This is The Haunting of the Wrecker Part 1 is this storyline. Writers Jed MacKay, artist is Domenico Carbone, and Mark has a problem because he's been asked to have, someone has asked for help with ghosts. So he's going to help them, even though it's the Wrecker from the Wrecking Crew, who, you know, if anybody deserves ghosts, it's freaking the Wrecker, you know. But it's just so pretty to look at. There's this big fight scene going on. Look at this. It's just boom, 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 and then the cover. I know you saw the cover. It's his ghost hunt fighting thing. Did I? Yeah, I did say who. Jed MacKay, Domenico Carbone. That's the old man part kicking in. So Moon Knight. If it says Moon Knight on it, I'll buy it. I don't care. Number 9 of Magic. Magic, yes. Although it should be called the Magic and Danny Moonstar Show. Writers Ashley Allen. Artists are Jermaine Peralta. German Peralta. With Matt, that is small, Horak. So, remember Cal, still possessed by a liminal. Ilanya, Magic, and Danny are getting a mission from the Society of the Eternal Dawn to save him, because currently his heart's not even in his chest. The Eternal Dawn people have it. So they're off on adventures to fight the bad guys. We get sort of a background on the Eternal Dawn group and stuff like that, and it's just, you know, it's people treating mutants just terribly. So next up, we're going to have a big final battle royale. What don't I like, kids? When at the bottom of the page it says to be concluded. I don't want you to cancel my Magic book, or it will make me grumpy. Batgirl number 11. Remember we were having the fight? All these people coming with the Bronze Tiger and the other Tiger, and Tate Brownball is our writer, Takashi Miyazawa is our artist, and this time around it's this one that can make their blood do weird stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Their blood doing weird stuff. So it's an interesting read. So, and then we meet the third fighter who doesn't want to fight, because that's how a lot of people do things. And then they all go off into the sunset. The end. No, they're not ending it. They say that there's another issue after this. They can't cancel my Batgirl, right? What do I want to do? I'm going to wait on that one. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 81. Feels like yesterday we had number 80. Story is Evan Stanley. Art is Min Ho Kim. Yes, that's right, folks. We got another artist. And the color palette is so pink. The whole thing, they're at this gathering, festival, what have you. And someone's after, did you guess Chaos Emeralds? I've never seen this much red and pink in a issue of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, and you know whose fault it is. Whose fault is it if it's in this book? Eggman. Still one of the best comic books that comes out monthly. Speaking of good comic books, this is Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6. Originally it was going to be canceled at number 6, and it is not. When last we left our Detective John, where's the thing for this? Hold on, kids. He was going to get his face cut off. Do you remember this? I remember. With a little hand buzzsaw. Just a minute. I don't know. Did you put it in the back? Maybe it's in the back. It's in the back. Oh my God. Hold on, it was backwards for a minute. What? All right. Hold on, I gotta do this to read it. Hold on. All right. Writer is Dennis Camp. Art is Javier Rodriguez. Because you won't be able to see. This is the final page right here. But the other page on the back makes it so you hold it up to the light to get an overlap. They did it in the first issue, and I was really, really happy with it. It's called Our Martian Vision. So, and once again, there's all these references to John Jones, Martian Manhunter. He's a big one-eyed cyclopean thing in this. John is a chain-smoking guy with a wife and a kid who has a connection with the Martian. The Martian, as I mentioned before, has a eye. And it does say to be continued. And, oh, what is this? It's the last throwaway line here. Just a minute, I gotta hold up. I want you to know who I really am. So after 6 issues, he's going to tell them he's the Martian Manhunter. They can run this thing forever. I'll buy it. They're doing this freaking thing. This is the Amazing Spider-Man number 11. But it's also Legacy 975. And they're like, well, that means we should have a double issue. It doesn't. Oh, but Marvel thinks so. So let's, I think we have 2 stories. Broken Mirror. Writer is Joe Kelly. Penciler, unfortunately, is John Romita Jr., but inker is Scott Hanna. Broken Man. Writer is Joe Kelly. Artist is Pepe Larraz. Because we've been having 2 different people be Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Neither of them are actually Peter Parker. They're 2 different people. I went in without trying to figure out who it was. They told us who Peter Parker was. And that made perfect sense. The Spider-Man, on the other hand, I must have been coming out of left field. Because apparently, while there's all this going on, Peter Parker was sent to an island. And now he lives in a self-sustaining deep space research-based vessel called the Beacon. And he hangs out with a big guy. A big fella. Dr. Starblood. Someone lost a bat name in that alien. And Peter's trying to get stronger. Like the Hellgate guy wanted him to get stronger. It involves a new suit. It involves training. It involves all this stuff. And there's people he has to get out of there. Apparently there's another story that wasn't good enough for the cover. Rapid Return, where the writer is Saladin Ahmed. And artist is Perez. And it's this fella, Rapid, who's shown up in a few of these. And Rapid's just like a low-level superhero, Street Fighter. Then they do this thing with the weird art. And it's by... Yeah, you're going to want to put a white letter on a yellow background. Lee Gatlin. And it's about Spider-Man eating his webbing. So that was kind of fun. I liked that a lot. So all in all, I mean, next issue we got fighting going on. We don't know. No one knows who Spider-Man is. They're showing an awful lot of other Spider family here, like Silk and Spider-Boy and Miles and whoever the heck that is. Oh, there's Gwen. There. That's next issue. Ta-da! That's the comic books. Alright, let's divvy them up first. We decided Sonic was a superhero, alright? Okay. Who's the one we said isn't a superhero? Godzilla? Or Justice League, isn't it? I think these are all superhero this week. They're all superhero this week, folks. So the new Batman book, I cannot recommend it enough. It's kind of nice to be there for the beginnings of something. You know, while we talk, I'm going to struggle to put this back in its bag. I mean, once you open it, it's not, you know, mint anymore, but whatever, who cares? So, anyways, so these are the books. These are the books. You're trying to stall while I get this thing in this plastic bag. I used to be really good at this. Not so much. I don't bag my comic books. By the way, I don't bag my comic books. I have exceptions to that rule, as everyone does. There's a Godzilla comic book that when you open it, it roars. That came in a resealable bag, so that one is in a bag. Also, for a while there, Dynamite was putting out Betty Page comic books on a regular basis, and they're very entertaining. I'd like to see them all collected someday, but we'll see. Those are entertaining, and those are bagged. Because Betty Page fans are crazy. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 10 bag. 10 bag. 10 comic books. So let's have our speech, shall we? About going to read a comic book, yeah? As I mentioned before, and I will mention it every single episode. You can go to the library. You can go online. There's a library thing online. You can go other places online. We rarely talk about manga, but that counts as a comic book. It is a comic book. Manga puts out way more issues of everything compared to what we put out in America. It's just freaking ridiculous. So there's that option there as well. Yeah. So there's plenty of options to read. I know, they're all superhero, but I got a superhero who's a blue hedgehog. I got a superhero who's a green Martian from outer space. I got a superhero that's a bunch of aliens and a thing called Silverhawks and Batman, who don't got no superpowers. That's the joke. But all of these people, there's a freaking giant gorilla and a reptile in this thing. But since they're fighting the Justice League, it still counts. So it's kind of, wibbly wobbly. But there are other comic books out there. I picked up the trade paperback of Peter Baggy's Hate with Buddy Bradley. Ooh, I call him Billy. Not a superhero book by any means. Just more of a insane slice of life drawn in a really, really freaky concept way. But Hate's good. The Vampirella book I picked up, there's no superheroes in that. That's a horror comic. So they're all out there for you to peruse. I recommend, digging in the quarter bins or 50-cent bins or dollar bins. Take $5 with you and go into those bins and figure out what it is you want. And go get it. And then if you like it, you can go ahead and come back and get more. You might never get out of the bins at all. What if you're just catching up on stuff? You're not addicted to monthlies like yours truly. But if you do, check if you have a local comic book shop first. Then see if they have a discount thing, like for Fanfare Comics and Cards here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's $5 a year, and they take 20% off of every new title. Otherwise, I'd be going broke on these things. So, something to look into. So, thanks for listening. Remember I said before about subscribing? Please do that. I'm trying to get that thing to be 1,000. And I know there's ways to skirt around that, but I'd rather not cheat. So, go subscribe for me today. Mash that button. Subscribe and like. If you want to. Alright. Now you have your mission. Go out into the world and go read a comic book.